Hello there and welcome to Rate My Cigar. So today it's Boxing Day for you guys, and we decided to record this because it was something that we've had discussions about. Now, what the discussion's about is what have been the best cigars we've smoked so far while doing this channel.
There's a lot of them.
I know.
There's a lot of them.
And we've actually prepared, both of us prepared a list, and the funny thing is, the list was exactly the same apart from one cigar. And
we have actually printed this out because there's a lot of cigars to memorise off the top of our head here, especially with the international names. So we've kind of split them up into like Cubans, Dominicans and other. Obviously upcoming stuff as well, which we're going to talk about. But yeah, the lists of what we've got on the board, which we've really enjoyed this year. Now, there is quite a few. What has been your overall favourite you've had this year?
I don't know. The problem is,
it's difficult to choose between a few of them. I must say.
I mean, the way I've done it is I've said pick some cigars, and I picked some cigars. Now, all our list was exactly the same except one cigar. Now, Chuck never picked the Monte Cristo Wide Mundo.
Only because I haven't tried it yet, which sounds ridiculous because we're running a cigar channel and I haven't tried a Monte Wide Mundo, but it's not a brand which I've just been like, I've never been bowled over by like.
But it's in the pile for you to smoke. So
I know.
I think in the next couple of weeks I'm going to get him to smoke one because, to be honest, I wasn't expecting what I got from that cigar. It was really good. So apart from that, the list was the same, and I said pick a bunch of cigars. I didn't put how many. Chuck just chose what he wanted to.
My favourites of this year, if I had to pick an absolute dead favourite of everything I've smoked this year, I would struggle. And the reason being, it would be between three cigars. Now,
hang on. Okay. This is 100% real, right? Don't look, please.
I won't look.
Right? I put a little line between the three that I reckon he's going to choose.
I'll say what it is before I look around. Right. So, Ramon Alones Gigantes, Connoisseur A, and the Super 60. Yeah, perfect.
Gee, but the thing is, the problem is this Ramon Alones and this Connoisseur A.
They're so close.
The only reason the Ramon Alones beat the Connoisseur A is it's a bigger cigar.
Yeah, a longer smoke, and I could just sit there and enjoy it for longer. That is the only reason.
If the Connoisseur A was the same size, the Connoisseur A would have been above it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, because the flavours in both are superb. Like,
they're not the same,
superb.
but they're close. But it's a completely different cigar and a different type of smoke.
They've got similar flavours, like the baking spices, the sweetness, like the cinnamon, graham crackers. Like they're a fairly similar cigar, definitely. But like the flavour, almost like the intensity of flavour is mildly different between the two. But I think that's just because of the ring gauge, and they're either one of those or that sun-grown Magnum Super 60 from Fuente, which is funny because it isn't one of very expensive sticks, but it is one which, as soon as I had, I was like, do you know what? This was absolutely fantastic.
Well, that night we actually had one bonfire night. It's actually on our channel, so go and have a look. So I had that, and it was Cuban all the way, but it was okay to smoke other cigars. But
I basically bullied you into trying it because you wanted to smoke Cubans.
Yeah, but since I smoked that, I bought 2 boxes, and they're 24 boxes, I believe. I just think they're really good.
They are, considering they're a cheap cigar.
Yeah, but last week there's a problem now because I tried the Fuente 54.
The Rosado Sun-Grown 54. Basically the same cigar, but in a 54 ring gauge.
Now, the problem being is I rated that on the board, but I rated it as number 2, and the 60, the Sun-Grown 60 or Super 60, as number 1. The only reason I did, because it was a bigger gauge, and I prefer the bigger cigar. But
this is where the irony kicks in, because I always say to you, like, big ring cigars are lovely, and I say I'm exactly the same. I really like a nice big cigar which I can sit down and relax with for like a long period of time. However, you do find in the smaller ring gauges that sometimes the flavours are just like a bit more concentrated and a bit stronger.
It wasn't the case of stronger or concentrated. It was just smooth and it was just amazing. But I don't know which one I prefer. So, but
I can see a cigar battle video coming up here.
But the problem is that's really weird for me because I would always have the bigger cigar because I prefer a cigar that takes me a long time to smoke because I smoke fast, and with a bigger cigar you don't tend to burn it so much. You don't.
Yeah.
So that's why I would choose a bigger cigar. But honestly, if I see a box of 54s, I'm going to buy them. And yeah,
just from smoking the Super 60s, I would probably just take the punt and buy a box of 54s.
Cuba Exclusivo, is it Exclusivo?
Yeah.
That is number 3 on the Cubans, but
they are nice smokes. They've got, I always find like they've got a very different flavour to most Cubans, if that makes sense. Like they've just got there's something in there, and it's something which I really struggle to pinpoint. But it's got like a certain flavour which I just don't tend to find in other Cubans.
And if I'm honest, looking at this list, me remembering what we've got here, that shouldn't be a number 3.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. But
that shouldn't be a number 3.
They are really nice.
But then again, I look at the Edmundo, White Edmundo, and that shouldn't be a number 4. And we've got the E2 Partagas.
Which is another amazing smoke.
But I don't think that should. That should be that high up. Maybe the San Juan. Yeah, that should be. I think.
But see, I definitely do think the E2 is better than the San Juan, for sure. It's just one of those really
they're close.
creamy.
They're close.
Like just they're
close,
beautiful
but yeah.
smoke. The funny thing is, out of the 5 cigars we've got in there, 4 of them are Fuentes, which isn't massively surprising because personally, I really, really rate the Fuente brand. The Arturo Fuentes are, I think they're just a really, really nice New World cigar. Really nice. It's interesting because, like I say, I've kind of moved onto Cubans recently, but I never ever have a Fuente, and I'm like, disappointed by that because I'm not. Everyone I've had in their nice range has been absolutely spot on. They are good. So we got
I've never had a bad one, but I haven't really smoked that many.
But you have smoked some good ones so far. So, like for instance, the Angels share the Super 60s, Sungrown 54, the Eye of the Shark. Like they're all nice Fuentes. Have you tried the Canones yet? The big stick.
Yes. Or no?
No, you haven't.
Is that great big?
That is
No, I haven't. No.
It looks like a handle from a hammer. It is absolutely massive.
I was going to say we should try that today.
Yeah.
But
I think that's definitely going to be an upcoming video.
But I'm just looking at this list and I'm still thinking because you've got over 10 there. This one here.
Mirapfel, Last Stanza.
Now that was the smaller one.
Yeah.
The flavours were so creamy and it was such
And it had that weird orangey, citrusy taste in the background, which was really, really good.
That was, what was that, 54, wasn't it? 52?
52, I think that was.
And I've got, if I got
larger,
the 60.
Yeah, you've got a 60 and a 50.
Yeah, see, I've got the larger one, and those are sat in the humidor waiting for us to do a review on. So that'll be interesting, and that's another video for next year. The Plasencia was the last...
In the other section.
The
Honduras. It's made in Honduras, and it's basically a mixture of Honduran tobaccos and Nicaraguan. So basically, a Honduras wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, but a mix of Honduras and Nicaraguan fillers. Now, they are a very, very creamy cigar. Very creamy cigar.
But the interesting thing was, when I said, choose your favourites, when I didn't say this, but I wanted to choose like 4 or 5 favourites out of each section. Now, the Cuban section, that was easy to choose my favourites.
Yeah.
And then choosing my favourites out of the Dominican, that was easy. The Nicaraguan, I looked at that section and I went, there's nothing there I really think is my favourite. Then I looked in the other and I went, no, that 146, no, that's there, bang.
Yeah.
And then looked in the sub And in the sub, you liked that one.
Yeah. Espinosa Laranja.
See-
Laranja Reserva. Very orangey.
I
It's kind
enjoyed
of got
it.
like an air of the Miracful La Estancia about it, like that citrusy, orangey flavour, but obviously it's just a much smaller ring gauge, which obviously is the only thing which I think let it down for you quite a bit.
I didn't really see. I liked it for the notes and everything, but when I'm reflecting on this whole side here, the problem doing this board is you sit back sometimes after you've rated something, you question yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I question myself over this one.
The Brasilia Gold. Yeah.
That was just really, I did enjoy that.
The nice thing about them is the flavours, like the real chocolatey, tasty flavours, but they're just a very cheap cigar as well. So like it's a very easy daily cigar, which doesn't break the bank. It's
But that's the whole
it's
idea.
a good cigar.
Spend £5 and find a cigar that smokes like £50.
Which, funnily enough, since we've been doing the channel, we have found a few of those for certain.
Yes,
Definitely.
There's definitely been some.
It's never a case of it's an expensive cigar, it's really good. Definitely not. There is loads and loads of effectively heavy hitting lower end cigars. Definitely.
I mean, just talking that point, finding cigars that smoke like they're not a £5 stick as it was. If you look at our list, I mean, how much was that Super 60? €22. Was that dollars? Dollars, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the Magnum 54, that was €9 that cost me, or was it €10 or something? So that's literally under £9. Now, if I fell upon hard times, lost my job, lost my house, I was literally living on the side of the road, and I wanted a cigar. That would be the cigar I'd smoke, and I wouldn't be upset that I couldn't afford anything else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I'm sat there in my, just got my helicopter on my launch pad of my big yacht.
Again.
No, that was last week. But yeah, if I could choose any of those cigars, if someone handed me that same cigar, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
So that is one of those cigars that is probably the best value out of all of those cigars.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Yeah.
And
value for money.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Either that or the 146 for value for money. But I would prefer the Super 60.
No, the Fuente is it. And I'm annoyed because I have rebelled, I have pushed back and said no to these El Fuentes because I'm Cuban all the way. And now I'm saying that I'd rather have that. Out of the... So out of these, which of these cigars do you have in your humidor?
Gigantes.
You've got Gigantes?
I have, well, you say what do I have? I have one left.
Okay. Right,
annoyingly, I have one left and I'm gutted because I love them. I have a couple of Connoisseurs. I have a box of E2s. Other than that, I've got about probably 30 Angel shares, a few Eye of the Shark, and a box of Placencia 146s. The rest I haven't got.
Okay.
So I got a few. I know you've got all of these. I know you have because you have the most ridiculous collection of cigars going. But
Not at all. I actually haven't got. Okay, I've got all of them then.
I know. I've already told you. I know. I probably know your humidors better than you do.
Okay.
It would be interesting as well. Obviously, we'd like to hear your views. What is the best cigar you have smoked all of this year? Obviously, we've got a list of our favourites. There might be some which we haven't tried yet, which is one of your absolute favourites or one of your go-to cigars. If you've got one in mind and you're watching this video, please feel free to drop us a comment because I'd be very interested to see what it is. Very interested. At the end of the day, everyone's tastes are different. It might be something which I've tried before, it might not be something, but yeah, I'd be interested to hear for sure. And if you do put a comment on there, tell us why it's your favourite cigar. Because like, is there certain flavours in there which like sort of really speak out to you, or like what is it which makes that your favourite cigar?
And how good a value for money is that cigar when you buy it to yourself? Because that is everyone's personal preference.
Yeah.
Where,
especially recently when all the prices have just gone absolutely through the roof.
You know, and yeah, I mean, some of the cigars on the list of our favourites. I mean, the dearest one is I want to say 57 quid, £57. That is the most expensive one and the top of the list on the Cubans. But
other than the Lusitanias, but it hasn't made the list.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't pick that. That just didn't. Yeah, and it's the same Vitola as they offer the Romanolones as well. It's exactly the same size, I believe.
Interesting.
I just don't know why I didn't pick it. Why didn't you pick it?
I haven't actually tried one yet.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, it's a good reason why I didn't pick it. I've got a couple of them, but I haven't tried them yet. It's one which I've been meaning to get round to try. But the problem is, you know what it's like sometimes when you sit there and you think, oh, I really fancy a cigar. You open your cabinet and you think, do I get a new one which I don't know what it's going to taste like, or do I go for that one which I know is going to be amazing? And I've just got this horrible habit of going, like, other than what I smoke for the channel, of course, when I'm like having my personal time, I always just go, oh, I know that's going to be good. So I just take the same stick every time.
That's why I'm smoking so many of those Super 60s.
Exactly.
Because I'm keep pulling those out. And the other thing I like about them Super 60s, they're cheap as well. So it just doesn't bother me. They're, you know, it's nothing compared to smoking an
expensive stick,
Connoisseur. Because I mean, the Connoisseur on the board is 34. I believe in Europe they're 20 something quid.
See, my issue is like when I go to my humidor, if I've bought boxes and the boxes are sat there, I don't think about the price when I go to get a cigar out. It's only when I'm buying them I'm like, oh, they're expensive. But once I've got them, I'm like, oh yeah, I fancy one. Let's have one. Like, it's weird. I never look at them. I never look at my humidor and go, oh, I don't really know if I should have an expensive cigar today. I just look at it and think, what do I really fancy today? What do I like?
I know that's what you do, because you do that when you come over with my humidor.
Yeah. You're like, oh, what should I try today? I'm like, here you go. Oh, no, that's an expensive cigar. I was like, yeah, but it's going to be a good cigar.
Yeah, he actually does say that. But, yeah, see, it's interesting how people think differently about the stuff. But yeah, I mean, looking at the Fuentes, I mean, that Angel, the Opus X Angel, that was better in the Eye of the Shark.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
but
it should be, because it's a lot more. It's more money's stick. Like you'd expect it to be better, although the Eye of the Shark is still a fantastic cigar.
See, the thing is, I wouldn't pick either of those there
over the top Fuentes.
Or any of these cigars on the list.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
In fact, I'd probably rather smoke a Plasencia 146 than an Opus X.
Okay.
And I know that's wrong to say.
But I know what you're also saying that because the ones we've got are the what size are they? They are absolutely massive. They're bigger than a Gordo, aren't they? I believe.
What's that?
The 146s. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a big cigar. Yeah, I don't know what size they are.
Basically the largest size which they manufacture for that stick, yeah. But they're good. I have a horrible feeling. I think we're both leaning towards our favourite cigar of the year is not a Cuban, aren't we? I have a feeling we're both going to come out with the same thing in a second. And I know what it's going to be. Just because I'm looking as like a whole package.
Do you know what? Before I say that, do you know what I want to do?
Go on.
I want to go and smoke another Connoisseur. I'm really tempted, because what I'm thinking in my head isn't right.
That's because you're a Cuban, man. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that Magnum Super 60 looks really appealing on that list. But to be fair, like I'm saying, as a whole package, I mean, like, the flavours are really good. The size of the cigar is really nice. The duration of the smoke is really good, and it isn't expensive.
If you look at all that, and each one of those it has to win,
yeah.
Then yeah, the Super 60 would win. But
But the flavours on a Connoisseur A are also
Oh,
quite...
they were really good. They were really good.
It's just because they're like this, like the baking spices, the sweetness. It's just they're absolutely my favourite flavours which I've encountered since my journey through cigars, for sure.
But the thing is, there is another cigar we haven't done one on the channel yet. Now, yeah, we can't put that in the list now.
I know what you're going to say as well. I know what you're going to come out with. I know what it's going to be. Begins with D. It is, isn't it? Diplomatico, regional Spanish.
Yeah, that was really good.
Which, funnily enough, we spoke about probably when we very first started this channel. It was like, oh, we'll get a review up very shortly. And somehow we haven't done one.
No, we did.
Well,
we did a review when we were
camping.
And the sound quality was terrible, and in the end,
decided it deserved a better review.
Yeah, and we said we'd do it, but to be honest, we just haven't picked one out the humidor at the same time.
Looks like we've got another one going on the upcoming list then.
Well, upcoming, I actually did jot down a little bit of a list here. So I have upcoming. Now this is because it's interesting me, but I'm going to put it on the channel. Now it's regional stuff. So the regional stuff, Cuba released certain cigars, certain vitolas, certain brands to different, the ones that I'm really interested in to sort of smoke next. Top of the list is the Diplomatico, the regional, that's the Spanish regional, because that is a really good cigar.
Yeah, I get a very similar-ish in flavours to the Connoisseur A, and like they've got that real nice sort of like baking spicy sweetness to them again, which I think is why I really like them as well.
That box, and the box we're talking was actually a 2023 box. We've got a few of those, and they're a good cigar.
Yeah, for sure.
Next cigar I haven't tried yet is the San Cristobal de la Habana, and that's the Magnifico, is it?
Yep.
Now I've got those as well. Now the next one is the Andorra regional. Sorry, that is the Andorra regional one. Sorry. Now it's just a massive cigar, isn't it?
Yeah, they're quite big. Yeah, I haven't tried one of these either yet.
And I've only recently managed to get my hands on a couple, so those would be interesting. But
so another one on that list as well is the Cuaba. So obviously we mentioned earlier, Cuaba is like a really, really nice Cuban cigar with like really interesting sort of like flavors which are kind of unique to Cuaba cigars. Now, one of the ones which I picked up when I was in Japan was I got a few Cuaba, and they're called APAC Regional Asia Pacifico. So it's basically an Asian regional Cuaba. Now they're not as big as like the large Cuabas you get. They're sort of like a middle size, like a Solomon size, yeah. So that's another really, really good cigar, of which I did try when I was over there as well, which I did quite enjoy.
You tried one?
Yeah, I've tried one.
I'm not happy about that.
And I have actually done a review on it as well, which I haven't uploaded yet, so that will be coming up very shortly. Regional Spanish, so obviously you pick those up whilst you're in Spain, of course. It's a Spanish regional edition. Paul Aranja, so the other cigars which I've smoked by Paul Aranja I have thoroughly enjoyed. I think the flavours are quite nice, and they're not like massive powerhouses, but like they're just really nice. I have got
queued up for the reviews all the other Paul Aranjas that are actually available. I've managed to get all of them, I just haven't smoked them yet. So they'll be coming up as well.
Juan Lopez regional.
Yep, that's a Belgium regional. Oh, Belgium and Luxembourg, even though it just says Belgium on it, I believe.
And that's slightly bigger than a Robusto.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they're, again, box of 10.
Okay, cool.
And
La Gloria Cubana. So that's an LCDH stick.
Yes.
It's called a La Glorious.
That's a big stick.
That is a very, very large stick, and the fact that they're calling it La Glorious, being La Gloria Cubana, tells me this is going to be a masterpiece. I'm hoping it's going to be a masterpiece.
I have actually looked into, because I purchased these cigars and they're not cheap. So I did a little bit of research to see, are they really a good cigar? And supposedly yes. So it's something I'm looking forward to. You did actually look at that one earlier, and you said that smells a bit spicy.
Yeah, it smells really, really peppery and spicy.
I hope
quite
not.
Interesting.
I hope not.
Because you hate peppery cigars.
Yep. And that would just really not be good.
That'd be tilting for you.
But that's the one I'm most excited to try.
The Juan Lopez. So again, another LCDH special, and it's called a Selection Especial. So that should be quite an interesting smoke as well. Again, I haven't actually looked into a lot of these regionals. Obviously, I've tried a couple of them, but not a lot on this list. So it'd be interesting to see what they taste like. Other than that, I'm trying to think the Bolivar Gold Medal.
Yep,
so
got those as well.
And they're the ones which, if you're into Bolivar cigars, you've probably seen them. I think they've just started selling them in the UK in one of the stockists.
That's in London.
That's it. And they've got a gold wrapper on the
half
cigar.
of it.
Yeah.
And the band isn't in the top like at the moment. You know, and you take the band off and smoke the extra inch. The band is actually right bang in the middle, and then you've got the gold halfway, and then the cigar the rest. That's quite interesting.
And other than that, it's some non-Cubans, which is interesting. So two other Davidoffs. So the master blends. Now we've got the 2012s and the 2014s. And also the Davidoff 10th anniversary, which I think you mentioned earlier. Which is actually quite a big cigar.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually one here, because this is what I was going to smoke, but we decided not to. Yeah, I mean, it's a big cigar.
Big Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
Be quite interesting. Some Nicaraguan cigars I think are really, really good.
But there's those 3 Davidoffs, but there is a load more Davidoffs in that cabinet. And you've got some
Year of the Rabbits as
Year
well.
of the Rabbits. I've got Year of the Dragon, Year of the Tiger.
Year of the Pig, I think. Pretty sure you got Year of the Pig.
Maybe. I don't know. There's quite a few in there. So there's going to be some interesting stuff coming up for sure.
So the channel's growing quite well at the moment. Obviously, thank you very much for everyone who has subscribed and obviously is watching. Obviously your support's been really, really helpful, and the channel's definitely starting to go in the right direction now. So I think after Christmas into New Year is the time where we're going to start trying some really special sticks and stuff which you might probably not have seen before, but should be quite an interesting watch.
There is one thing I'm curious if you guys have actually watched this far into the video. Do you like videos where we're talking about cigars, not necessarily the cigar we're smoking? If so, we can do more of these videos. So please drop us a comment below what you liked about this particular video, because at the end of the day, you know, we enjoy talking about cigars as much as we do smoking them. So if you want to hear us talking about cigars, and you know, maybe there's some subjects you want us to talk about, you know, or information you want us to find and clarify, you know, just at the end of the day, it may be our channel that we run, but
it's for you.
it is for you. We enjoy doing this. You know, we do this because we enjoy doing it. We don't do this because, you know, you
think, oh no, you've got to smoke a cigar again. Oh no.
I know. And when this one goes out, I'll be lighting another one up because I won't have finished what I'm saying. But no, we don't take any sponsorship from anyone. We don't have anyone saying, you know, when you smoke the cigar, make sure you say it's the best cigar in the world. We don't do that.
It's honesty. It's exactly how we feel about the cigars.
Yeah. And
no one gives us any cigars either. Literally everything we smoke, we buy ourselves and we give honest opinions on, which I think is sort of like definitely the way to go.
I mean, one of our latest videos, I've given an honest opinion, and Chuck completely disagreed with me.
Which is a rarity. It is a rarity.
But that was just what I was thinking, feeling, tasting, etc. And I just want to keep it honest, really. And that's what it's all about, really, on this channel. So this is the end of the year now. We've sort of been talking about, as you are aware, the cigars that we've enjoyed smoking on the channel the most. Now, we need you guys to drop some messages in those comments and let us know what cigars we should be trying this for basically 2024.
Yeah.
So if there's cigars out there, just drop us put it down in the comments, because I do.
Even like oddballs from like boutique companies. It doesn't have to be like mainline Cuban cigars. Like for instance, like Crowned Heads do some fantastic cigars, but they're not really very well heard of. And that's a brand which I've had a couple of, and both the cigars I tried, I was like, wow, these. Well,
you've got this weird cigar. Is it a gingerbread man?
No, the Ninja Bread Man.
It's the Ninja Bread Man,
and I've only got one of them. That is it.
It's Yeah, so it could be anything, and we want to go out and look for these weird and wonderful cigars and try them on the channel. So if you guys can point in the right direction of any names and stuff, look, do it. It's the same as if there's you know, anything happening in the cigar world. If you want to let us know, and we'd quite happily come along and you know, do an episode. You know, if there's a cigar lounge with anything happening there,
the hearths, meats, anything like that.
Yeah, you know, we'd both be up for going for a drive and doing an episode there.
And on that note, obviously, thank you ever so much for all of your support through the last year. We have massively appreciated it, and thank you for helping the channel grow as well.
And yeah, have a good Christmas and enjoy your new year. And we're going to be releasing another video for New Year's Day, possibly New Year's Eve. It depends if we can fit that in. So with that, I think we're going to call this the end of the video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.